Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another full album reaction. Man, feels good. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. I'm excited. But I'm always excited to listen to new music, especially when it's a band that I've never heard of, I don't know a thing about. I love it. Let's go ahead and dive in today to a full album reaction. We are listening to The Joy Hotel. We're going to listen to their debut album released last year, 2024, in July. What a great month that is. Their album Ceremony. We're giving it a listen. We're listening to this because it was sponsored by Joe. Joe, I really appreciate the suggestion. Definitely the support as well. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. My family is like group texting insanely right now, so I apologize if you hear my phone vibrating constantly. Anyways, I'm excited to dive into this album. Never heard of them. Don't know a thing about them. I was looking online. I got the lyrics pulled up. I was trying to pull up like the Wikipedia page, so I have all the info, personnel and such, and then the lyrics. I don't have some of that. I have the lyrics pulled up, got that ready, but I couldn't actually find a ton of information regarding the band themselves. Like just to pull you guys up here really quick, let me get you on the screen. There you go. So I have this little blurb from Piccadilly Records. Let's see, newly signed at SO Recordings with a debut album proper in hand. They have become a word-of-mouth success story in the Scottish DIY scene. The band spent 11 days at Rockfield, the legendary studio in Monmouth, Wales, recording live tape. When they left, they had a sound. It's often contradictory in that it combines songwriting sensibilities of pop, country, with arrangements reminiscent of the psychedelic scene in the 60s, six-part vocal harmonies, elements of noise rock, beautiful balladry, and a sense of humor, a cinematic quality. And of course, the results is this album. And even when I went to the band's website, which I have pulled up right here, got the album. I love their style. I love the album cover itself and everything. But not a lot of information. And by not a lot of, I mean, I didn't have a lot. So I don't really, I like to use the names of the singers and the musicians and who's playing, but I'm not going to be able to do that because I ain't got it, brother. I don't have that. So we will just go ahead and listen to it, talk about it as it is. But either way, I'm excited to go ahead and give it a listen. I hope that you guys are as well. Relax, take a load off. If you're like me, just sit back and watch the flowers bloom. You're not doing bad. I'm beginning to see a little waning, a little less green on the leaves than I like, a little more yellowing. I'm going to have to account for that. But regardless, thank you all for being here so much. I appreciate you. Let us go ahead and dive into the first track here on the album, which is going to be I Decline. But instead of declining, we're going to accept. And I hope that you accept this toast to you as we dive into the album. This sip of water, just pure filtered water, is to you. I love the album cover.
To be kind all of the time, but am I born of your affection already? I'm just wishing I was going steady.
That's great. And as she says heavy, of course, the music gets heavier. Oh! Very cool, like structure.
to be true. I'm confused. Just a little something for the pain.
I love how it starts and stops.
Feeling never stays the same. But won't you? Well, maybe you do.
It is constant change.
This place is
Oh
haunted.
yeah, this is gonna be good.
Do you want it? Too many ghosts here, leftover clothes here. This place is haunted. Do you want it? Want it?
What an interesting sound.
I'm going where no gal has ever gone before. Do you want some more? I want some more. We're just friends, we pretend. The boy returns again. What do we do then? I will not mend. I'm loving, I'm dying,
I love that.
I'm breathing, I'm crying. I'm heavy, and I am not ready. Well, I don't know.
I love how it gets heavy and then lightens up into this very melodic passage.
That I hate to be true. I'm confused. Just a little something for the pain.
And the lyrics perfectly time up in the words.
This feeling never stays the same.
That's a great note.
But won't you? Maybe you do.
Spider guitar line.
This place is haunted. Do you want it?
Great harmony behind her.
Too many ghosts here, leftover clothes here. This place is haunted. Do you want it?
Oh, this is gonna be one of those, huh? Hold on, I gotta stop it because I gotta talk about it a little bit, but it was clearly going right into the next track. Woohoo! Okay. Let's chew on this for a moment. So the most apparent, I think, like exciting thing, at least to me, about this are those tempo changes, the slowdowns, the speed ups, capturing the emotions with the lyrics themselves. I love that. I love how, when she's saying, I'm heavy, the music speeds up and gets heavier. When she says, let me see, I tried to catch the exact moments here. Hold on. Just a little something for the pain, but this feeling never stays the same. The music kind of numbs itself, kind of gets not Pink Floyd-ish, but it kind of opens up into a little bit of like ambience, a little bit of space in there. Just a lot of playfulness happening with the tempo, with the structure of the song, and then that repeats. So even though for a first-time listener like myself, the first time you go around, it's like, wait, where are we going to catch the beats? How does the rhythm play? It's kind of odd, but then they do it again, and you're like, okay, I kind of know almost what to expect and how it's going, and just makes it a really exciting and purely adventurous listen. I thought that was fantastic. I loved her singing. The whole thing has this kind of indie psychedelic sound to it, but these little twists and turns, we're going to see how it goes, but I love how that's handled. And the guitar playing is so melodic. I love the I guess almost country adjacent kind of sounds, the twangs of the guitar. You can clearly hear like all of the strings being struck individually, forming in that chord, like there's just the way that it's played kind of gives presence to the guitar playing, which I thought was really, really nice. And the drumming was great, especially having to catch on all of those beats and catch on all those hits and slow downs and speed ups. Just a really, really wonderful song, and I love the different motions that it goes through. And I love that it's leading into the next track as well. Well, my thing is so creaky. While everyone is having such a good time, yet I decline. Maybe in time, I sit and I wonder what is on my mind. I would find as I rewind, I'm trying very hard to be civilized. I try to be kind all the time. So there's, of course, a conflict of mind, as she says. What am I bored of your affection already? I'm sorry, I should say, but am I bored of your affection already? I'm just wishing I was going steady, which of course the music begins to come into a beat at that point. So it actually goes steady. I'm heavy, and I'm not ready. So not quite ready. What? For perhaps that further relationship, that further commitment, whatever it might be. I decline. Well, I don't know the things that I hate to be true. I'm confused, just a little something for the pain. This feeling never stays the same, but won't you? Well, maybe you do. And like I mentioned, I love how at this point it kind of numbs out, a little something for the pain, and the music kind of opens up a little bit with space. This place is haunted. What a great chorus this is, by the way. This place is haunted. Do you want it? Too many ghosts here, leftover clothes here. This place is haunted. Do you want it? Like, not only is the relationship, in a sense, haunted and dead, but even the place, perhaps where they stayed together, where they lived together, is dead. Too many ghosts, too many memories, too many leftover clothes. I'm going where no gal has ever gone before. Do you want some more? I just want some more, but just friends. We pretend. The boy returns again. What do we do then? I will not mend. So there's a resolution that she makes there. When he comes back, what are we going to do? I'm still declining. We're not moving forward in any sort of positive relationship manner. I'm loving, I'm dying, I'm breathing, I'm crying, I'm heavy, and I am not ready. Of course, the aftermath of this dissolution of the relationship. Well, I don't know the things that I hate to be true. I'm confused, just a little something for the pain. Of course, it repeats from there. That's good. Kind of conflicting or contradicting rather with the nature of their name, the Joy Hotel. Well, this I decline is clearly a declining of the joy of that relationship. This is going to be interesting. By the way, when I pulled up the information, I was trying to search for, info on the band. I also pulled up this interview here. I haven't looked at it really. I scanned through it briefly. Well, I guess it's not an interview. Shows how much I read, right? Just to get a little bit more information on the band, but we'll kind of dive into that, as we get further into the music itself. So let's go ahead and dive back in. We're going to back up the song just a little bit into the last few seconds of I Decline. And let that lead into the next track, which is Forever Tender Blue. What a smooth transition that is.
Pretend we never met. Start forgetting you. What else can I do?
Not only does the music come off the previous track, but even lyrically, we're kind of getting a different perspective, perhaps, from the other side.
When
This side.
I reflect, it's far less picturesque. Now I'm concern is you let me. So now it's Chris, cigarettes and
That's
cheap wine.
such a like a good
And I'm
reflective voice.
glad I knew you, even just for a short time. And you may never need a song like mine until you do. Forever tender blue. So now it's
Cigarettes and cheap wine,
and I'm glad I knew you.
even just for a short time.
And you may never
Need a song like mine.
until you do. Forever tender.
Is every song going to perfectly lead into the next one? There is one way to find out. So I love this song in the way that, one, it carries on not only musically, of course, transitioning from the previous track, but lyrically. I can't tell you if this is a concept album or not, or at least in a way a thematic one or not. But I like how we got the breakup in the first track, and now immediately we're introduced to his side of the story. And then it brings them both together for a conversational duet in this kind of slow balladry indie country song. And I think that that works so well in bringing all of this together. And I mean, this track was also leading into the next one. So it seems the evidence is pointing into that direction where all of the songs are going to connect, at least musically. Will the lyrics and the ideas follow alongside? Who knows? I'm not sure, obviously, but we're going to find out very soon. But I like how this one is very stripped down. It's simple. There's nothing crazy or mind-blowing in this track, but it's just a nice kind of ashes after the furnace of the previous track. It just kind of leads off of that, and I think that that really works nicely, especially with the way that they're both singing. Now, two things really quick. One, I got some names now. I got some names. Luke Boyce is the lead singer, obviously the male here, and then the lady, Emma Woods. Is it M or Emma? I love that name. That's a really beautiful name, M Woods. I love how their voices perfectly match each other. Of course, his having the deeper, kind of slower voice, and her kind of singing on top of that. You know, it's just they work very well together in that conversational tone that comes across deeply in the chorus. What am I to do now you fall asleep with someone new? Should I forget? Pretend we never met. Start forgetting you. What else can I do? It's not many choices you have, brother. When I reflect, it's far less picturesque. Now I'm empty, and emptiness hurts. What's worse is you may just forget me. Isn't that a thing when, like, you're in a relationship with someone? I feel like I'm so small on the screen here. If you just, maybe a little bigger. When you're in a relationship with someone and you break up, right? You're apart. And you know, you're going to have those moments where, listen, you occupied the same spaces, you had the same friends or circle of friends, so there may be a time where your Venn diagram clashes into the middle. What do you do in that particular moment? This is the pain that he's speaking of here. And also, there's a little bit something kind of left over because he says, you know, he's worried that they might forget him, or she might forget him. And now they both come together. So now it's grace, cigarettes, and cheap wine. And I'm glad I knew you, even just for a short time. And you may never need a song like mine until you do. Well, they're both singing it together. You can imagine them kind of, completely separated in their own place, in their own home, looking outside, looking at the moon in the dark, drinking their wine, and just smoking a cigarette and thinking about the relationship and the aftermath of it. They're not together, but they're both looking at the same moon, singing the same song, thinking if the other person is thinking about them as well. If the wonder warps and fades, and if you forget our powder days, I'll do the same. I like how she sings this part and says, like, if you forget those days, I'll forget those days too. But a brief but lovely flame, a fleeting fortnight haze, nice alliteration there, gone quick as it came. So I like how they're both reflecting, solitarily on their time together, but of course the chorus brings them together, although not physically, in a way, spiritually and romantically. Then they sing here, when you reflect, is there anything left of our time in your memory? And if I leave now and don't return, my concern is you lit me. Like there was no fight. Man. And of course, they actually end the chorus with the line of the song Forever Tender Blue, a song that is apparently needed. Now, before we move on to the next track, I got to go back to I Decline because as I was scrolling to go to the lyrics for this track, as I was doing one of these right here, I happened to pass this little bit of information here. I Decline was the first song we wrote for the album and it ended up being the first that we tracked in the studio. I remember being there, a bit nervous, or a bit of a nervous energy among all of us before we started recording. Most of what we ended up on the final version is just the sound of all of us playing live in the room. There's a potent excitement that comes from recording live, being able to hear the whole song emerge in one swoop while having to accept the little imperfections as part of the process. Lyrically, it's a story of complicated and uncertain relationship dynamics and the damage done. So I really like that they recorded it that way, just letting it come naturally, recording it in one fell swoop live, and allowing those imperfections, whatever they may be, to be part of the music, because that brings a much more human element into the music rather than trying to sift through those musical imperfections in the production process and engineer. No, let the human be human. Let's move on into the next track, which is going to be First Joy. Let me back up just a little bit. Right about here we go.
Forever tender.
That's a Western chord if I've ever heard it. I like the exhale.
You get bored of your head. You are welcome in my bed.
Bit of a turn.
In my head. What was the thing that I said?
This ambience is wonderful.
You are welcome in my bed.
Oh. That's awesome. That is fantastic. Love that drumming in the space, the bass.
You get bored of your head. You are welcome in
that step. Bringing it lockstep. I like how that guitar chord and the notes carried on, just playing differently. Almost like it has a little bit of a Pink Floyd-esque quality to it, huh? And I love how within the track, you're already hearing that progression starting from halfway through. I kind of want to let it lead into the next one. Let me allow it. Allow me. Just allow me.
There will be no forgiveness. Today is the day of salvation. You are not promised tomorrow, my friend. None of us. As an appointment wants to die, and then comes that judgment.
Rolling thunder on high, snow falling June.
Housebird, mother of four, the ocean and her lagoon.
Fire at our front door.
I like how alarming the guitar is in this part. It's like a kettle, just tension.
I woke up early to find a red morning sky. The day's brought me away, we'll see the glory of his light. And his hand will put the world to right.
Her scene is wonderful.
It won't be long, and for all that you have done, you will be judged, you blind denier. Jeremiah,
Everyone joining in, one by one. Start it over. They do a great job of these structures in their songs.
Catch your breath in the car. There's nothing left of our home.
Like how it's just the keys and the drums there.
hold the hand
That was
of
hard.
a friend. I lost everything now.
If this is how it all ends, by now I should have known.
Now tomorrow it's near.
It's too late to cry.
If you know the words sing along to this one
She brings in that grit in the chorus.
song.
It's fantastic.
None of us will be left behind.
That note right there is satisfying.
It was bound to come, and when all is said and done,
You will not meet your false Messiah. Jeremiah,
The guitar is building that tension in the back behind.
Jeremiah,
Chorus of voices layering on top with each word.
catch your breath in the car. Hold the hand of a friend.
Okay. We gotta stop it somewhere. We gotta take it off somewhere. Can I just say, like, really quick as an aside, I love the recommendations and the buy me a coffee page. I'm not plugging. That's not why I'm saying this. But I've gotten like so many recommendations and, you know, like listening to new music that I probably would have never come across through you guys and your recommendations there has just been really good, because this is fantastic. I'm having a great time listening to this. First Joy, we're only 4 songs into the album. First Joy is my favorite song on this album. The space that they created there, the drum transitions, the guitar playing, her singing in there is so ethereal. It almost provides a almost Pink Floyd-esque quality in that particular track. It's dreamy, it's satisfying. I just think that it's such a beautifully like layered song. And can I tell you, looking at the plays on Spotify, of course that's not indicative of everything, but it has one of the lower amounts of plays, around 9,000 or so, which this is like brilliant. Like Jeremiah, I see on the Spotify page is their most played or streamed track, which, listen, good reason, it's a brilliant track. But First Joy, man, that is just sensational. Everyone is just wonderfully playing there. And then as it moves into Jeremiah, actually, by the way, before that, I like how you can kind of get this sense of the transition in First Joy halfway through the track. And then it builds and builds and builds into Jeremiah, which, by the way, the band has been doing incredible in those transitions and bringing it all together. Jeremiah is definitely one of the catchier songs on here. I love the way they layer every single time that they say Jeremiah. You know, first a solo voice, then 2, then 3, and then the band. I'm assuming all of them together, and it just explodes and rips into it. That's just really wonderful how that's done. The loud, soft chorus, or not the chorus, but the loud, soft verse. You know, I like how they're doing the louder part. The guitar's in there just tightening that string, just coming in, bringing tension, and then it opens up. And in that open moment part, like I heard in the second verse, you hear just vocals and keys. Then in the second time it does it, you hear vocal, keys, and guitar, and so on and so forth. So they do, like, the band is just incredible when it comes to the structure of the songs, as we heard from the very first track on Decline, and then the layering of everything. Like, sonically, it's satisfying to listen to. This, like, that's what I mean. Like, I'm really happy that I'm getting exposed to bands like this and music like this, you know? I think that this is such a fantastic listen. Let's dive into some of these lyrics here. First, Joy. Get it? Like first, like I was going to say, like first we're going to do the lyrics to First Joy. So first. When you get bored of your head, you are welcome in my bed.
Oh my. Oh my.
In my head. What was that thing that I said? You are welcome in my bed. I love that. This is, I can almost imagine after, you know, they're both having their individual soliloquies and reflections on the relationship, she says, you know, when you get bored, you know, you're welcome to come on back. And then she says, what was that thing I said? Like almost as if they were both having a little bit of a red wine supernova in the previous track. And she was like, what did I say when I was drinking? And then it's repeated there. And this time she says, let's go back and pretend you are welcome in my bed, in my head. In my bed, of course, physically and sexually, but also in my head, mentally, romantically. That's where the love comes in. That's good. And then with Jeremiah, and we hear a little sound clip here. There will be no forgiveness. Today is the day of salvation. You are not promised tomorrow, my friend. None of us. It's an appointment once to die. And then comes that judgment. Rolling thunder on high, snowfall in June. A house-proud mother of 4, the ocean in her living room. Fire at our front door. The father is returning soon. I woke up early to find a red morning sky. So a little bit of an apocalyptic situation here. You know, snowfall in June. I mean, here in Florida, I don't see snowfall, period. But, you know, an ocean in her living room is flood, fire, snow. The father is returning soon. There's a red dawn. The day is drawing near when we'll see the glory of his light, and his hand will put the world to right. It won't be long, and for all that you have done, you will be judged, you blind denier. Jeremiah. Catch your breath in the car. There's nothing left of our home. Hold the hand of a friend. I lost everything that I own. If this is how it all ends, by now I should have known. Now tomorrow is near, it's too late to cry. If you know the words, sing along to the swan song of mankind. None of us will be left behind. It was bound to come. And when all is said and done, you will not meet your false Messiah, Jeremiah. So I wonder, because this track is clearly different from the lyrics and the story that had been happening, or at least the theme that had been happening previously. So is this kind of maybe I was kind of wrong about the concept album portion, even though at least the first few tracks really seem to, connect. This one kind of comes a little bit left field with the lyrics. Of course, the religious imagery and references here. Catch your breath in the car. Hold the hand of a friend. Now tomorrow is near. Is this how it all ends? So disaster has struck. Now, is this going to be literal? Is this figurative or metaphorical? Nothing down here on this one. Nothing right now. We're going to move on to the next track here. Let's go ahead and move on into Black Balloon. Let me, as usual, back
There
up
will be
just a
no forgiveness.
smidge.
Today,
Right about here. Is there a movie called Black Balloon?
You woke up dream sick in the afternoon. The black balloon was hanging over you. I left a basin by the bed and a note for you that read, I'll be back when you need me. Baby shoes, burn a candle for the ones we lose. It seems like all the time we have is water in cupped hands. Why can't a mother's love be easy? Lying on your side, you turn out the light. When darkness leaves you blind, I'll keep an agile eye for a fragile mind. Carry the burden of your sister's pain, make her whole again. It's so much easier to hold it when you come as a friend. All our pain and our joy, what might have been a vanishing dream. If you play like a broken toy, when you've come to call on no one at all.
That's good.
For any saving grace, 1,000 songs to sing. Comfort and promise of spring. Sharing my best offering. Life is a wonderful thing. Stuck at home. A generation scared they'll die alone.
I love how they traded off. Rich strings
True
back
love
then.
that comes cheap isn't ours to keep. Why do I give it out so freely? All in your own time. Good things are hard to find. When darkness leaves you blind, I'll keep an
said, a fragile mind, and it's breaking down. The songwriting is incredible.
Carry the burden of your sister's pain.
That's fantastic.
Make her whole again. It's so much easier to hold it when you come as a friend. Carry the burden of your brother's pain. Make him whole again. It's so much easier to hold it when you come as a friend. Carry the burden of your sister's pain. Make her whole again. It's so much easier to hold it when you come as a friend.
This is a journey. This is a journey. This song almost got me a little bit. We'll talk about it briefly. This is, I think, like possibly the most emotional song on the album so far. We're about halfway through. Felt something crawling on me. And I love the addition of the strings in here coming in, playing a really beautiful part. The piano opening with the singing. I love when Luke came in and like his tone immediately kind of like brought a warmth to the music. It brought like a different dimension. And I just love how, once again, their voices trade back and forth. I really, really enjoyed that. I think the lyrics are incredibly strong. If it's about what I'm thinking it's about, and that got me. But like, it's just a really incredible song. I'll admit, I was very focused on the lyrics, so I don't have a ton to say about the music except that I really enjoyed it on this one. I really enjoyed the lyrics, but I'll be honest, I was very much focusing on the lyrics here. So let's do that right now. You woke up dream sick in the afternoon. The black balloon was hanging over you. I left a basin by the bed and a note for you that read, I'll be back when you need me. Baby shoes, burn a candle for the loved ones we lose. It seems like all the time we have is water in cupped hands. Why can't a mother's love be easy? Lying on your side, you turn out the light. When darkness leaves you blind, I'll keep an agile eye for a fragile mind. And that's, of course, like I said, when the music breaks down, which was a really cool moment. It was kind of like with the Beatles, with I can hear the song in my head, but you know what song I'm talking about. Carry the burden of your sister's pain, make her whole again. It's so much easier to hold it when you come as a friend. Well, with all our pain and our joy, what might have been a vanishing dream, if you play like a broken toy, when you've come to call or on no one at all. Okay, so hear me out. The song, I think, is about death, right? Black Balloon. And here in the beginning, I think for the most part as a whole, whether this is literal or figuratively, is talking about the loss of a parent, right? So the first verse there, I really strongly believe is talking about the loss of a parent, and they're leaving the basin by their bed for them. The black balloon was hanging over you. I view that in a couple different ways. Often when someone's sick and, especially in the hospital and stuff like that, you leave balloons and cards and stuff, and, typically, of course, they're not black. However, the figurative, metaphor behind that, the black balloon, this is death, basically, right? And I just like how that's hanging over you, like death is hanging over you. I think that's just a really good imagery that's left there. And of course, this person's being taken care of, this parent's being taken care of, because of course the person leaves a note. The son or daughter leaves a note, I'll be back when you need me, which also relates to the chorus, right? This is kind of how I view the parent speaking to the children, or, grown up children now at this point, on the parent's deathbed. Carry the burden of your sister's pain, make her whole again. It's so much easier to hold it when you come as a friend. Then she says, the mom, or dad, to the brother, to the sister, carry the burden of your brother's pain. Same thing. The parent on their deathbed is just telling their kids, look out for each other, basically. I heard that exact pretty much phrase, right? Baby shoes, burn a candle for the ones we lose. It seems like we have, like all the time we have is water in cupped hands. Great imagery. Why can't a mother's love be easy? Right? And I just like all the imagery that's happening there. Now, I'm not going to speak of it because, listen, I'm not going there right now. If you what you know right now, right? But I also think that there might be another element of death happening in the song. But I ain't talking about that right now for what should be obvious reasons. But what an incredible, incredible song this is. I think that this is the most emotional track on the album. At least for me it is. Let's move on into the next track, which is Rapid Eye Movement. Let me back up just a tiny bit here. We go. Little sleep, little REM. And I ain't talking murmur. This one's instrumental, by the way, so I'm going to let it lead into the next. Reverbs. Just moaning, wailing. Nice descending piano line. Good fill on top of it. Bit of a shuffle. Deep fuzzy bass. Sounds like there's some extra percussion happening in this thing. Very light. Break down. You know I'm here for it. Guitar ripping through there. Next song, just let it lead into. Even though that's kind of a clear, like, halfway mark, because it paused, it stopped. Arguably the only time that it hasn't led into another track halfway through.
This winter wind that blows in me used to be promise of spring, a summer breeze. It might be the final curtain call.
The drums let loose on the toms.
I'm in the bonus round. But if your life is like mine, pretty soon you'll find the time makes a young man wise. Still you might see regret in this old man's eyes. never ends. Hold tightly the gift of all you have today. It will be gone someday, but everything in the end will be made good again. So trust in the author's pen.
It's a good
Faith
line.
is a lucky
Great
coin
writing here.
if you ever learn to spend. But you can be sure I spent it well. For each thing I've forgotten, you could fall into what I've left to tell. Never reach the bottom.
I like this double-tracked guitar to kind of bring us into the outro. We're back to it. Okay, so I think this is kind of cool. So with Rapid Eye Movement, it's the only track that doesn't like actually perfectly transition into the next track, which we just listened to, Old Man's Eyes, which I think kind of captures a perfect halfway point, since Rapid Eye Movement is the 6th track out of, okay, not perfect halfway point, but about out of a 13-track album. Okay, Rapid Eye Movement felt like the most dynamic track on the album so far, where it is constantly switching between different, scenes and different musical outlets and stuff, which works with Rapid Eye Movement. When you're sleeping, you're dreaming. And when you're dreaming, there's a lot of things happening. You're trying to punch the monster, but you can't move. You're trying to run away from the monster, but you can't move. Then all of a sudden, you attain lucidity, and you're flying through the skies, and who knows, you're hungry and eating pizza with the walrus. Like, dreams, aren't always consistent. They're not always, moving in a perfect line. And so the track instrumental, it does the same thing. It gives us a lot of different scenes, and it captures those moments. I think it's a really fun and dynamic track with, once again, some fantastic musicianship. I love how the drums show up a little bit more in that one. They're given a little bit more to do there. I just think it's a really fun track. The organ I really enjoyed. Then we move into Old Man's Eyes, which brings us kind of to a similar point, like a similar song of like Jeremiah, where I feel like it's a much more, not pop structured, but normal structured kind of track. And it's catchy, it's fun. I love the outro of the guitar double tracked there. Like the organ brings up the ambience underneath it all. I love the break on the drums when they lead off into the toms, coming off of a stiff 1-2, 1-2, and kind of rounding out. I like all those elements there. And once again, I really, really, once again, love when both of the singers are involved in a track, because they just counterbalance each other so well. And I love when she brings in like that, I can't do it, but that little bit of vocal fry, just a little fry in my bag, serve me up, no receipt. I think that comes across wonderful. Also, by the way, when I had this article up, I thought that it was going to be like an interview of the band. I was just really briefly scrolling through because I had saw these quotes, and I see that it's really just a description or an album review, because it even says album review. I don't want to read someone else's album review. I want to make my own decisions. I was hoping that I would find an interview from the band to like dive a little bit more into. I'll spend a little bit more time looking after, we go through the music and everything, but I couldn't find anything really before, and I was looking around. I found album reviews, but I thought that wasn't an interview. Anyways, I should have kept you guys on the screen here. This winter wind that blows in me used to be promise of spring, a summer breeze. It might be the final curtain coming down. I'm in the bonus round. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it again. I'm so happy that I've been exposed to like new music like this and stuff, because I think that like I love their writing. I love the way that they play. I love everything about this album. This is a great listen. The winter wind that blows in me, it used to be a promise of spring. The wind used to be youthful and Vitali, that like it used to be like life, youth. Now, old man's eyes. Age catches up with everyone. The final curtain coming down, but he's in the bonus round. Right at the been given a little bit of an extra leash on life. Is that the phrase? Lease on life. A little extra, but he's feel like he's very at the end. But if your life is like mine, pretty soon you'll find that time makes a young man wise. Still, you might see regret in these old man's eyes. Come the ringing bell, I'll meet the voice that's calling. For those who knew me well, I won't soon be forgotten. So, once again, just a really strong verse here. Time and experience makes a young man wise. Yes, but guess what? At the same time, as you gain wisdom and time, eventually, of course, you become older and you might still see a little bit of regret. But even at the time when that bell rings and that voice calls you, as they say, calling you home, if those who knew this person well, they won't be forgotten. So even if in these ending hours, there's still a sense of peace for this person who will soon be dearly departed. But peace won't come if your peace depends on the hope of finding that which never ends. Hold on. Let's read the Sphinx's riddle here. On the hope of finding that which never ends. What is that which never ends? Nothing. Everything ends. Impermanence. Everything changes. Everything decays. Everything dies, decays, rots. Nothing lasts forever. I'm trying to parse it out. I was thinking in my mind, because that's where most of my thinking happens. Hold tightly the gift of all you have today. It will be gone someday, but everything in the end will be made good again. The gift of all you have today. You don't know what's promised tomorrow because nothing is promised tomorrow. But trust in the end. So trust in the author's pen. Faith is a lucky coin that few ever learn to spend. That's a great line. But you can be sure I spent it well. For each thing I've forgotten, you could fall into what I have left to tell and never reach the bottom. Whoa. I love how, in this old man's eyes, even though he's never going to get to say everything he wants to say and think every thought that he wants to think and, get it all out, he has a wealth of knowledge and experience, just a cup of wisdom that we should all drink from. I love the, looking at the ending of life and the last few hours with something of a little bit more hope and not hope of life, obviously, but a reaffirmation, a positive, looking at, man, look what I've done, what I've learned, what I've experienced. That's just, I'm genuinely impressed with this album. Really, really impressed with this album. Let's move on into the next track here, which is complete opposite, While You're Young. Let me back it up a little bit. Right about here.
I'm so much entwined with all the pieces of myself I tried to leave behind.
Still I've gone
Through them all and out the other side, only to realize
that if
I was so inclined, I'd follow everything still out there left to find.
anything worth having, it's hard to come by.
So tell a story worth the glory of my kind.
Temptation
Leads me where my devils lie.
Heavier riff coming in there at the end. I'm gonna let it hit the next track as well. It's only 48 seconds long. No use. Piano was a nice lead, huh? Some classic whistling.
No use in holding on to a love long gone. No use in holding on to a love long gone. No use in holding on to a love long gone. No use in holding on.
Okay, we gotta stop it there. While You're Young. I love the country blues-esque touches that are happening in that track. I especially love the way that Miss Wood sings with that little vocal line, that little rise, that little escalation. While you're young. That is, every time it comes through, it's like it just sends little, almost like it just sends little shivers through me. Like that almost gives me goosebumps. It's just very satisfying and melodic the way that she sings it right there. I just really, really enjoyed that. I also love during that part how I'm assuming the rest of the band members come up in the background with a few little harmonizing parts, almost acting as a little bit of a chorus back there. Just really, really, really wonderfully done. The guitar playing I thought was fantastic. Like it just has a really great mood. Can I tell you, just this morning my wife and I were having a conversation. If she was here, she would laugh. So don't take this as I'm insulting my wife, because I would never do that. But like, my wife is very much a normie, for lack of a better word, when it comes to like most things. But she's also incredibly smarter than I am with life. So when it comes to music, she's very much a very passive kind of pop person, or whatever, for the most part, whatever is on the radio. And we were talking about like trying to find music that I would listen to, that I would find like stimulating, for lack of a better word, and that she would enjoy as well. And we do actually have a lot of crossover, because I listen to a lot of pop and stuff as well. She listens to a lot of Spanish music. Because I've been introduced to it from her, and I put it on sometimes, you know? So like, we do already have a crossover, but this would be a great album for us to have crossover, because she would like it, I like it. I'm going to play it for us. I don't know if I can tomorrow, because we might be busy, but I'm going to play it for us. I think that she would enjoy this, because I think that this is a fantastic album that hits a lot of great notes, I would say. With all the pieces of myself I tried to leave behind, still I've gone through them all and out the other side, only to realize that if I was so inclined, I'd follow everything still out there left to find. Anything worth having is hard to come by. So once again, the thoughts of regret and time past, but this time it's while you're young, right? So perhaps this could be argued that the old man from the previous track is telling someone that's younger, basically YOLO. Trauma. Now, interesting, even as we were listening to the song, I was wondering, why do they say trauma? You know what? Let's make this interesting. Let's actually look up the pure definition of trauma. Trauma is an emotional response to a terrible or distressing event that causes lasting negative effects on a person's well-being. Now, could it be argued that they're saying trauma because this event that's happened to cause them this emotional distress, could it be argued that that's time? And so they're trying to, of course, heal with time, learn, take advantage of time. Some little things a jealous heart won't forgive, to lie awake and wish for the life that you should have lived, right? Before you are old, wasted and done. Do it while you're young. Love that. Fortune for the bold, soon to be gone. Do it while you're young. So perhaps that's why. I view this as, instead of living time is trauma. Time is trauma.
Please clap.
And the damage that it can do, it can act as trauma. And so take advantage of it. Be bold. Use your time to avoid that trauma later of regret and not having the time anymore to fulfill whatever you want to fulfill and go on those adventures that you wanted to go on and eat that slice of cake that you wanted to eat. If I would take the time, I'd tell a story worth the glory of my kind, but temptation leads me where my devils lie. If I take the time, I tell a story worth the glory of my kind, but temptation leads me where my devils lie. This song is all about time and taking advantage of it. And then it repeats the lyrics again. To lie awake a pine for the person that you could have been. That's a great question that even I ask myself sometimes. Is the person you want to be the person that you are? If the answer is yes, good. I think for most people, the answer may not be yes. And then the next question, how do you become the person you want to be? This is a good album, man. I'm just saying, this is a great album. And then no use. It just keeps repeating the lyrics of no use in holding on to love along. No use in holding on to a love long gone, which in my opinion almost reflects back to the beginning of the album, which it was talking about a deteriorating relationship, but also could be argued talking about the previous two tracks, time and the experiences. Love is probably going to be one of those experiences. Could have been lost. No use in holding on. I decline to hold on.
Please clap.
Wonderful vocals in that particular track, especially that one moment when Luke pops out just a little bit more. Let's go ahead and listen to the next two tracks, which are a part 1 and a part 2. That is going to be 23, a comedy, part 1, and 23, a comedy, part 2. Here we go. Let me back it up a little bit. There we go. Something ominous in the air. Screen just went away. There it is.
I can hardly wait to let the good thing spoil. Sort of twisted joke, my son, in the mortal coil. And tightly wound, tried and true.
know I was gonna say, give me a little bit of that.
Deepest wishes all come true. There's only hope left for one of us, darling. With any luck, it's you. Life has made me tired of all that it's put me through.
I'm sucking it.
Stomps in class.
Spinning screws.
Young, wild and free.
You're not always going to be 23. Try not to waste all your time. The best years of your life. Waiting for someone to ride. What a tragedy. What a comedy. Look what it's done to me. What a comedy.
Man. This is instrumental, by the way. Bracelet fell off. This song has really great character. Even this instrumental. Let's go. It's done. I hear the hi-hat. Don't fight it. Great bass. We're at the carnival now. Nice fast flirting guitar. I like how we've taken the same melody through different cycles in this track. Solemn organ. One last go around. This time aggressive and heavy. done, man. Man, that's perfect. That's excellent. That's excellent. Continuing the themes of time on this side of the album, and we get this 2-track suite, and it is sweet. It's 10 out of 10. Perfect, right? Man, I would love... This album should definitely be performed by the band live in totality. An evening with the Joy Hotel performing ceremony, it writes itself. The songwriting is so incredibly strong. The singing is amazing. The bass playing, I love that moment where all the music drops out. Listen, I won't lie. I was hoping, oh my God, are we going to get a bass solo? It's okay. It's okay. The bass was playing adventurous. Guitars and organ swirling around in this ambience. Just a wonderful track. Catchy, funny, tragic, as it says. And then that main riff and melody in part 2 is massively melodic. Let's see if I can keep going. Surmounting in song, not as good. Tremendously tonally tantalizing.
Please clap.
It's just wonderful. And let's bring the lyrics into this because it's all going to go together in what I'm saying. I can hardly wait to let a good thing spoil. It's all a twisted joke, my son, in the mortal coil. I'm tightly wound, tried and true. I'm sucking nails and spitting screws. Sad as it seems, I thought that I'd always be 17. And haven't we all? I wasted my time, the best years of my life, waiting for something to arrive. Don't let it get you down. What a tragedy. What a comedy. Don't let it get you down. Love the rest of the band there. Look what it's done to me. What a comedy. Listen, I think a lot of people, no matter what age you are, feel this sentiment. I wasted my time with the time I had. The best years of my life. Can I tell you, 17 was not the best years of my life. Perhaps that's the folly of youth, right? I can't speak for everybody, of course, but for myself personally, I'm in the best time of my life. This is my peak. I've never been higher than I've been right now in my life. I don't want to go back to 25. I don't want to go back to 15. 5 was kind of a good age, you know. Learning the colors and the alphabet was kind of easy for me. That was a good time. Loved kindergarten. That was a great time for me. But yeah, besides 5 years old, I'm perfectly fine where I'm at right now at 35. May your deepest wishes all come true. There's only hope left for us, for one of us, darling. With any luck, it's you. Self-sacrifice. Life has made me tired for all that it's put me through. I still think that this could be argued that we're looking from the point of view of the old man's eyes, telling the children, take advantage of your time. So the first half of this album was love, or the desolation and the dissolution of love, the breaking up of relationship, romance. The second half has dealt with time. Try not to waste your time. The best years of your life waiting for someone to arrive. What a tragedy, what a comedy. Don't wait. The best years are the ones that you make. As it mentioned before, you got to be bold with it. As that line was actually written in bold. I would love to see this band live. And then I said part 2 just instrumentally just takes it away. I'm a fan of this band. I'm a fan. I am a fan, 100%. Let's move on into the next track here. I am a fan. Killing Time. It's written, brother. It says killing time. It's about time. I just spilled my water. Spilled my water.
Tend to the vine, the sweeter the wine. You stay on your side, I'll stay on mine. In spite of the thirst for better or worse,
Swing to it.
I'll stay on my side, you stay on yours. I'm alright. I'll sleep
building.
Picture of you with your face crossed. I scratched out mine too, but I'm trying.
I love the organ.
Don't need something to believe in.
Love the piano, almost saloon-esque.
You give a sad soul so meaning. I can't keep killing time until time kills me.
When I wake up in the morning,
I love
I
that.
look at my phone before I even stand
Is that Mellotron back
and
there?
watch the world fall apart in the palm of my hand.
Almost, if not.
I creep like a clock through the day, ticking like a dripping tap. Time, the material I am made of, and the limits of my mind.
As heavy as this climax is, the bass almost adds a jazzy, like, subtlety to it. Almost on stand-up. As it's walking and the strings go on. Like a softness. Jeez. Now the violin has frayed from this.
Don't need something to believe in. I've grown tired of believing. You give a sad soul so meaning. I can't keep killing time, it's inside kills me.
This is the type of album that if I was listening to it on my own, in front of my laptop, maybe on a weekend night, like it will be in a few hours, and I just have my headphones and I'm listening to it. Like, you know, when you listen to music for like just yourself and you're sitting there, right? You generally, for the most part, just sit still, listen. Listen to the music. There's moments in here where I would still go, that even sitting there at my laptop or whatever, I would still be making faces. The climax of this is sensational. The violins coming back, and I love how it starts off as this. Not the song, but that climax specifically, just taking that in containment. That climax is explosive and bright and radiant. It just fills the air, and then the strings begin to kind of fray. The melodies begin to scratch, and the violin. It's just like, you know, and then it just quiets and melts away after that. Just a really brilliant climax, especially after that buildup that was happening there before. I think that this band is just amazing. I really, really am enjoying this. This is like one of my recent favorite albums that I've listened to, that I will absolutely like listen to afterwards and follow this band. I would love to see them live. And once again, the lyrics on here are just sensational, bringing back the theme of time. Tend to the vine, the sweeter the wine. You stay on your side, I'll stay on mine. The separation is back, baby. In spite of the thirst, for better or worse, I'll stay on my side, you stay on yours. Listen, I'm a plant, I'm a vine, as they're saying, right? We're both plants, and even though I am dying of thirst and a plant does need water, I'm staying on my side. I'm all right. I'll sleep through the night. Lay me down, lay me down. What's on your mind? It's a circus, I find. Saw a picture of you with the face crossed. I scratched out mine too, but I'm trying. This song arguably brings the two themes of this album together: relationships and time. From the first half into this half. Don't need something to believe in? I'm grown tired of believing. You give a sad song some meaning. It's a harsh line. I can't keep killing time until time kills me. Also, I totally forgot to make one point that I had wanted to make, if you don't mind. Back in I forgot what I was gonna say. But in was it in No Use that I'm thinking of, or While You're Young? I had a point that I had forgot to make earlier. No, I think it was No Use. No, it wasn't. Oh man. There was a point I was going to make earlier, and I just remembered it, but I've just clearly forgotten it. All right, well, that point is lost in time, unfortunately. When I wake up in the morning, I look at my phone before I even stand. Boy, don't we all. That's a bad habit I want to get out of. And watch the world fall apart in the palm of my hand. I like that. You pick up your phone, you want to see what the other person's doing, you check out their socials, even though you should keep away. And all of a sudden, your world falls apart just because of this little thing right here. I creep like a clock through the day, ticking like a dripping tap, time, the material I am made of, and the limits of my map. So this was spoken by Iona Lee. Now, who is Miss Lee? She's a poet. I see this immediately. Scottish Poetry Library, of course. There we go. She has such a cool style. I wish I looked cool. I always tell my wife... Side point. I tell my wife sometimes that like women are so like lucky in their fashion and the way they can look. Like I wish that I could like look so fashionable and look as cool as some women I see. You guys just have like cool fashion and clothing and stuff. I'm jealous occasionally. Poet, artist, and performer Iona Lee was born in Edinburgh in '96. She studied illustration at the Glasgow School of Art and has a first-class MFA in philosophy and fine arts as well. Just awesome. Poetry and essays have been published extensively in the likes of Hachette Publishing's Poems for a Green and Blue Planet, Gutter, The Scotsman, and The Modern Craft, Powerful Voices on Witchcraft Ethics. Her critically acclaimed debut collection, Anamnesis, was published. Let's see what that is. Listen, I'm not afraid to go down in rabbit holes.
Anamnesis,
the remembering of things from a supposed previous existence. So that's cool. That is cool. That's some cool stuff. I loved her vocal part. There we go. Her vocal part here on the on this particular track. Like, and it is a spot of nice poetry and thoughtful poetry in a very thoughtful album. Don't need something to believe in. I'm grown tired of believing. You give a sad song some meaning. I can't keep killing time until it kills me. Let's kill time no longer and move on into the final track of the album. Small Mercy, the longest track on the album, clocking in at almost 7 minutes. Let me just back it up really quick here, off of the lullaby beginning of Killing Time into the ending of All That Power. Here we go.
Saturday's joy was a fool's pursuit as expected. Now I'm planning my funeral. Sunday's cold breakfast. Bitterness is lonely, but there's wisdom in pain. For a second I lost my head, but it was right where I left it. Make a house a home.
Now we're jazz.
You're living there alone.
So why not?
Make a house a home. You're living there alone. Small mercy, come find me. I'm ready to be found.
Almost Eastern-esque chords there. I like how the guitar is droning back there. Kind of like yeah, this is very Eastern. I love that.
Wipe it all clean and move through me with confidence and care. There's a ghost in the machine and it carries serenity rare. If judgment is a mirror, painkiller is a little lampoon.
It's a good line.
It's something like seeing myself in the back of a spoon. Make a house a home. You're living there alone.
I love how that guitar just drums back there.
Make a house a home.
Take care of your own.
He snuck in there. I already snuck in there.
Small mercy, comfort me, come find me. I am ready to be
That's crashing in the fires from the side of that guitar. I heard that. That's wall shaking. I enjoyed every single second of this album. I enjoyed every single second of this. This was a brilliant album. I have no other words. I got no more talking. What a great adventure this was. I may even listen to this again tonight on my laptop while I'm just doing other stuff. This was such a brilliant, brilliant album. Soft, subtle, isolated in the beginning. I love the moment where the drone of the guitar and the Eastern chords begin, and it kind of takes us to another world briefly. Empties out again. And then the final explosion. A satisfying climax to the ending of obviously the song, but of the album. Explosive, massive wall of guitars. The bass pedals, I imagine, come in because you hear that bass behind it all just throbbing and reverberating against the walls. And in my mind, because of the continuous nature of this album, it just makes me think of, like I mentioned, like watching them live performing this album in totality. This would be a euphoric experience to hear the ending of this performed live. And you know they would have to let that climax go on just a little bit longer. Give it just a little bit longer. Let everybody get the goosebumps. There's a case of goosebumps out there, and there's no cure for it. This was a really fantastic album. And I love how this song, kind of like the previous one, kind of brought everything back together. Saturday's Joy was a fool's pursuit as expected. It's Saturday right now, and it wasn't a fool's pursuit for me. I got really good. This was great. Now I'm planning my funeral over Sunday's cold breakfast. Bitterness is lonely, but there's wisdom in pain. For a second, I lost my head, but it was right where I left it. My bracelet fell off again. Make a house a home. You're living there alone. Make a house a home. You're living there alone. Small mercy, come find me. I'm ready to be found. So there's internal dialogue. Then there's encouragement. And then once again, personal resolution. Wipe it all clean and move through me with confidence and care. There's a ghost in the machine, and it carries the serenity prayer. If judgment, is this a thing? There we go. It is a thing. The serenity prayer is a well-known prayer that encourages acceptance of what we cannot change, courage to change what we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's good. That's really good. So it carries this prayer. What can you change? If judgment is a mirror, the painkiller is a little lampoon. Gotta not take it so seriously. It's something like seeing myself in the back of a spoon. So it's not a pure mirror where you see, kind of perfectly what you are. But on the back of a spoon, there's a weird kind of angle to it, a little bit of a sense of warped reality to it. And then it repeats the chorus once again from there. So this is the final acceptance. This is the acceptance, like that serenity prayer. You can't change everything. Change what you can and have the wisdom to know what you can change. That's good. I like that. I'm a sucker for like quotes and self-reflection and self-meditation, that kind of thing. This is brilliant. Wipe it all clean and move through me with confidence and care. This is great. Small mercy, come find me. So this is all now internalized. Even though Luke comes in and he says he has one line, take care of your own. A little bit of him back in there still. What a brilliant album this is. This is fantastic. I'm going to really quickly search to see if there's any like live performances or anything from them. I remember, I know they have a YouTube channel because we saw on their website that there was a link. So let's just click on that. Let me pull up their website here really quick and click on the YouTube link. Let's see where that brings us. That brings us right here. These guys are awesome. Old Man's Eyes, Jeremiah, there you go. I Decline, Black Balloon. Full album? Oh, that's live artwork. I thought they played the full album live. I was gonna say, are you kidding me? That's brilliant. Let's see what people are saying. Also, I love how it's actually The Room. I love how it's actually the album cover here. So I wonder what the 1217 represents. 1 sets 2. Somebody's curled up on the rug. I wonder what the 1217 represents. Do you think that's the exact release date or something specific? I love that. Album of the year. Can't wait to see you live. Let me get in here. This is absolutely brilliant. I am so happy to have discovered your music this Saturday afternoon. I couldn't imagine a better way to spend the day. Appreciate you all for making such wonderful. Oh, look at that you. Look at that you. You. Appreciate you for making such a wonderful. I remembered how to spell wonderful. Album. Thank you for sharing your music. You know what? I actually do comments a decent amount on like musicians' YouTube pages and stuff. And I always say thank you for sharing your music. Thank you for making this. Because like it's art. It's something that's created. And I really do thank them for making it, you know? That was incredible. That was such a brilliant album. Joe, thank you so much for the sponsorship, for the recommendation. I love that. I'm going to be listening to this again in the very near future. Please let me know what you guys thought of it. Of course, in the comments down below. Follow me, Patreon, buy me a coffee, all of that fun stuff. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope that this made it better for you. Hope that this was a fascinating listen for you as well as me. Not everything hits everybody the same way, but this hits me. I enjoyed this a lot. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Please enjoy the rest. Someone's revving their motors outside. Saturday at 2:47. Relax. We'll all get there. Have a wonderful rest of your day. My phone just fell, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.